Welcome to Tech in the Car. This is the Audi e-tron GT Quattro. This is Audi's flagship all-electric car. This car is fantastic. It looks amazing in white. Big thank you to Coulsdon Audi for lending me this car. Give them a visit if you're after an Audi. This car has 302 miles of range from its 84 kilowatt hour battery. And if you're thinking it looks a lot like the Porsche Taycan, it does. They're built on the same platform and both cars have 800 volt charging. 800 volt charging right now is only available in these cars and the new Hyundai Ioniq 5 and the Kia EV6. And what about power? Because this is a fast car. You can check out my first drive impressions video where I literally was thrown back in the seat. But this car has over 500 horsepower. Just look at the side profile, these really wide fenders which go down back here. There's a vent behind the wheel here, so air can come through, removing high pressure, creating better efficiency and aerodynamics. And then the design lines come down the side here, all the way to the back, where again, these blistered arches really stick out. And this car is actually very wide. It looks it, it feels it when you're driving it, and it's a long car. It's about 5 meters, slightly longer than a Porsche Taycan. By the way, I've got a video on the Taycan coming, so if you haven't watched it, watch it. Now, we know this car's got really wide arches, but something else it's got, frameless windows. And what about the wheels? Well, they're really cool as well. We've got 21-inch wheels here. We've got a special aerodynamic design to them, and there are massive brakes behind these wheels. This car needs them because it's so fast. So you might be wondering, how do you charge this car? The charging door's right here. You can plug it in. You've got the little cover there for DC charging. You've got the little button to unplug it, and you can see the various statuses here. So on the Porsche Taycan, it's electric, and you'll see that on my video on that car, but this is really neat and tidy. It's a little thing here, but lots of electric cars have this hanging loose. So that's a very nice quality option from Audi, I approve. At the back here, we have these lights. The Audi light bar is now synonymous with the high-end cars in the Audi range, and lots of companies are doing it as well, and it just looks amazing. It's super distinctive. Nobody's going to get confused. This is an Audi. So the next question you might have is, how much space is there in the back of the e-tron GT? Well, actually, as you can probably see, there's quite a lot of space. Okay, I'm not a big fan of the seats which don't have a space, you can't see around them, they're all one piece. On the carbon edition, these are probably carbon. They're a bit plasticky at the back here, but the airiness you get from this panoramic glass roof is fantastic. There's climate control back here. There's USB connectors as well. And it just feels very luxurious. And plus, having that frameless window is really good. The only negative side of this is that when you close the door, it's very narrow, your view out. That's kind of compensated because that brings in a lot of extra light. It does kind of cramp your view though, but I don't think that would put me off. Welcome to the inside of the e-tron GT. This is a fantastic place to be. You just have to look around to see it yourself. We've got carbon fiber, matte carbon fiber here, which is like, wow, amazing. I don't know what that noise was, but it's amazing. It looks very cool in here. We've got a display here with all the latest stuff, and I'm going to show you around that in a minute. We've got our digital cockpit as well. We've got physical climate buttons, very unusual for an Audi, although I think we're seeing more Audis going back towards those. We've got our drive select buttons here. We've got 2 cup holders, so plenty of space there. We've got a really easy sort of switchable sliding gear changer here. And then of course, we got these seats. Not great from the back, but in the front, they look fantastic. Leather. And we've got this panoramic glass roof. That light coming in is just fantastic. I would love this to have had an Alcantara steering wheel. You can of course get the car with an Alcantara steering wheel if you buy an RS version, but it doesn't, but it still feels really nice with the perforated leather. We've got some solid metal gear shifters, which are used for the regen braking, not for changing gears. On the subject of gears, this car actually has 2 gears, just like the Taycan. They're on the same platform. Most of the time it uses the second gear. Only when you're using launch does it use the first gear. So that's really interesting to know. Now, one other thing this car has, which is really cool, is a cool 360 camera. So how do you access it? There's a button at the bottom here. You tap on it and it opens up, and you can see my position in relation to everything else. Now I can tap on this to see the wheels at the back, see the wheels at the front, to see the back wide view, to see just the normal back view, and that's cool how it kind of bends out, to see my overhead view, to see my front camera view, to see my wide front camera view, and I love how that kind of bends in like that. That's cool. And then we can see our 360 view. Now the 360 view is the coolest because I can actually see all the way around me and move it like this, and that's pretty cool. I can even go and zoom in so I can see more detail where I am. Unfortunately, it's not the same color as the car, which is a bit disappointing, but it's still really, really cool. And of course, I can change the position. We've got our 3D overhead view. We've got another view from the back. We've got a view from the other side, so you can see what's around you. And that is very, very, very cool. And I can automatically activate it, have the graphic and the overview, adjust the volume when reversing, and of course, maneuver assist as well. And what does maneuver assist do? It stops me from hitting something when I'm reversing, which again, a really useful feature to have. This is a really cool 360 camera system. Let's have a look at the head-up display. You can see it right here, and it's pretty cool, and it will show you different bits of information as well. When you're driving, it will show you the driver assist features, whether they're on or off, and give you information when navigating as well, where you're going. What's the Audi e-tron GT Quattro like to drive? Well, I gave you some impressions back in July when I drove it at the Audi event. What I can say driving it now on the motorway and in the center of London is, even though it has 21-inch wheels, it goes over the road bumps like they're not there. This car does have air suspension, and it really does work. 21-inch wheels doesn't feel like they're on 21-inch wheels. It feels like they're on 17-inch wheels. It really, really is very, very good over all kinds of road surfaces. So that's the first thing which impressed me a lot with this. The other thing too, which I like, is that it is very, very reassuring to drive. You do know where you are on the road. Now, I don't want to take away from the fact that it is a wide car and it is quite heavy, and so you can definitely feel that weight and you can definitely feel that width. Going through a width restriction in London, I was a bit concerned I wouldn't make it. Now, it wasn't an issue, the car wasn't as wide as a width restriction, but still I was a bit nervous taking this car through that the first time. So you just kind of need to be aware of that. Obviously this car has 360 cameras, so you can turn on that front camera and see that view and see exactly where you are in relation to the road around you. The other thing interesting about this car is it doesn't have one pedal driving. Now, what this means is the regen braking would automatically slow you down when you take your foot off the accelerator. That means you don't need to use the brake in lots of situations. The Volvo XC40 had that. Obviously, in terms of acceleration and power, this car has 530 horsepower. When it's in its overboost mode, it's a fast car. So overall, cool car to drive. I love the heads-up display, very comfortable, lots of fun, very fast. Big thank you to Coulsdon Marshall Audi for lending me this car to make this video. Please do pay them a visit. I've ordered my RS3 from them, and you can order your car from them as well. Don't forget to give us a like if you find it useful, and subscribe for more, and check out my video comparing this car, the e-tron GT, with the Porsche Taycan Turbo. Stay safe everyone, thank you very much, bye.